The old house stood on a hill overlooking the town, its windows like vacant eyes, staring out into the endless night. Locals whispered stories about the place, tales of tragedy and loss, of a family swallowed by the earth. It was said that the house held secrets, whispers from the grave, that could never truly be silenced. I always scoffed at such stories, dismissing them as the product of overactive imaginations. But then I met her, Evelyn Reed, a forensic anthropologist, and my skepticism began to crumble. Evelyn's world was the world of the dead, of bones and fragments, of silent witnesses to forgotten lives. She didn't work in the shadows of haunted houses but in the sterile, cold light of forensic labs, yet the stories she told were as chilling as any ghost story. The bones tell the truth, Evelyn would say, her voice soft but firm. They never lie. Her job was to piece together the stories of the deceased, to give them a voice in the face of oblivion. She could determine a person's age, their sex, their health, even the manner of their death, all from the skeletal remains. It was a macabre art, but one that fascinated me. One evening, as we sat in her dimly lit office, surrounded by stacks of books and anatomical models, Evelyn began to tell me about a case. A Jane Doe, found in a shallow grave on the outskirts of town. The bones were incomplete, fragmented. But Evelyn, with her meticulous skill, began to reconstruct her story. The skull showed signs of blunt force trauma, she explained, her fingers tracing the contours of a skull on her computer screen. But there was something else, a faint etching on the femur. It was a symbol, a crude carving that Evelyn couldn't identify. Days turned into weeks as she delved deeper into the mystery. She examined the bones, photographed them, consulted with colleagues. But the symbol remained an enigma. The more she looked, the more the case seemed to haunt her. Then, one stormy night, as rain lashed against the windows, Evelyn called me. "I found something," she said, her voice barely a whisper. I rushed over, my heart pounding in my chest. In the lab, she showed me a newly discovered fragment, a piece of rib bone. And on it, almost invisible, was another symbol. This one, however, was familiar. It was the same symbol that was etched on the door of the old house on the hill. A cold dread washed over me. The whispers from the grave, the stories I had dismissed, suddenly felt very real. Evelyn, pale but resolute, said, "We need to go there." That night, we drove up the winding road to the old house. The wind howled, and the trees clawed at the sky like skeletal fingers. As we approached the house, the air grew heavy, thick with a sense of foreboding. We entered, our flashlights cutting through the darkness, and the house seemed to exhale a sigh. A sigh of countless untold stories. The house was not just a house. It was a mausoleum. In the shadows, we found evidence, remnants of a forgotten ritual. A dark secret that the bones were desperately trying to tell. The Jane Doe was not a stranger, but a victim of the family that once lived within those haunted walls. We never spoke of the case again. The house remains on the hill, and the whispers continue. And sometimes, late at night, I swear, I can still hear the echo of Evelyn's voice, telling me, "The bones tell the truth."